Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? I hope you guys are doing well. I am in a public place broadcasting, so I'm not going to be able to talk loudly, but I wanted to see if you guys could hear me okay. I want to say welcome to the Black Financial Channel. And today on the Black Financial Channel, I want to talk about why so many black businesses don't succeed. A lot of it is due to poor economic soil. It's due to the fact that we tend to hate ourselves more than we could ever dislike a white person. I think that it's really important that we have this conversation. I think that we treat our businesses the same way we treat black people in the criminal justice system, and I'm gonna break that down for you and explain that to you. So. Get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel in three, two, one, and go. To the Black Financial Channel. This is theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I am your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about black wealth and black economics every single day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day under the B1 condition. B1 means we are black first. Black first means that we don't hate anybody, we don't discriminate, but we do put our people at the top of the priority list. If you are black first and you agree with this philosophy, then put a B1 in the chat. Let me know that you're black first. I want to say hello to Wayne Solomon. My name is Corey. Let me know if y'all can hear me okay. I'm in a public place, so I can't yell. I'm actually on a trip to Iceland right now. I mentioned that to you guys. I went live on Dr. Boyce TV earlier, and so I'm actually in Iceland, which, by the way, is a beautiful, beautiful place. There is some there are amazing views here. I mean, if you've never been to Iceland, I encourage you to take a visit. It's a gorgeous place. I'm a little sleepy, to be honest with you, because the this is me in the hot springs, by the way. I'm a little sleepy because the time zone change has really kicked me in the butt. But I figured while I was waiting, I'm waiting for my girls to finish eating. I thought I would come in and talk to you guys real quick. And I have been thinking about something that allows us for kind of an educational process. Some of you may have seen me talking extensively about black-owned businesses, and there have been some interesting conversations about things like the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, stuff like that, and whether or not the Tulsa Real Estate Fund was good or bad. And I'm not here to debate that. You can think what you want about the Tulsa Fund. That's just that's a I know that that's one of the reasons why I never really wanted to collect money on behalf of the public, because when you get to holding people's money, it's easy for people to think, oh, you ripped me off, because a lot of people don't understand in investing. Sometimes you don't make money. Sometimes things don't go well, and it's kind of turned into an interesting educational opportunity, in my opinion, because it gives me a chance to really talk about why so many black businesses struggle. Now, here's the thing. One thing that's interesting about black-owned business, and tell me if you've ever noticed this. I've noticed that black people, we tend to be harder on our own businesses than we are with anybody else. Has anybody ever noticed that there are people that will just have a type of vitriol toward other black people that they would never dare express to a white man, that they've never expressed to a white man? That literally there's something, maybe it's familiarity breeds contempt. Maybe it's, I see you as my peer and I'm broke, so you supposed to be broke just like me. It's almost like, how dare you? It's almost like they think that making money with a business or charging money for a product is something that white people should be allowed to do, but black people should not do it. Seriously, think about it. There's so many people who went to college and gave $120,000 to some mediocre white university with a bunch of white professors, and they might complain about the student loans or whatever, but they never really actually rebelled and spent their whole life trying to destroy that institution that took $120,000 of their family wealth. Think about this. Think about how many black people go to college at big institutions that are racist, don't hire black people, don't have any black professors, don't even let in black students, only black students on the campus or on the basketball team. And they don't go nearly as hard at those institutions that literally took over $100,000 from them as they'll go after a black business that they think took $50 of their money or took $200. And I want you to really notice this, because this is part of your mental illness. This is part of. I talked about this extensively in my new book. It's called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, and it's an Amazon bestseller. And I spoke about it in the book because this is what you call fertile economic soil. A lot of the reason that your black businesses don't grow is because you don't have the soil that allows them to grow. The thing, here's what I mean by that. And again, I want to move the conversation past the discussions of the Tulsa Fund and things like that, because I don't care what people think about it. I mean, it's up to people to have whatever opinion they want. That's not it. It's almost like when I talk about the Democrat Republican thing, and people think that because I'm not a Democrat that I must be a Republican. And I'm like, I'm trying to elevate your mind. I don't give a shit if you're a Democrat or Republican. It's about the system. It's about the process. It's about the bigger picture. And so anyway, with this, it's about the bigger picture, right? This conversation about the Tulsa Fund is interesting to me because there are people who have been convinced that they're legitimately protecting black dollars by quote unquote exposing the so-called the scammers in the black community. Now, I'm not saying that there's not a place for that, and I'm not saying that if someone is caught doing something illegal, they shouldn't be penalized or prosecuted. But I'm just trying to understand how come all your so-called scammers are just other black people. How come you will get really upset over a black man that you think took an extra $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, $1,000,000 even, but you literally walk right past all the white people that have taken billions out of the black community, that are taking billions every year. I've never really seen any black outrage toward Mark Zuckerberg, who has taken $3 billion out of the black community this year alone. I just haven't seen that. And again, I'm not saying that you don't have a right to go after the black businesses. I'm sitting there just trying to ask, are black businesses the only places that make mistakes? And the reason you don't have good fertile economic soil, and this is the reason why 86% of all black businesses fail, it's because y'all really hate each other. You hate each other more than white people hate you. So when you're a black business owner, it's hard because you're getting discriminated against by white people, and you're being discriminated against by black people. White people are allowed to make mistakes. They're allowed to start businesses and hit the reset button. Think about this. I want y'all to give me a yes or no if you understand where I'm coming from. Look at what Wells Fargo has done to the black community. Look how many billions of dollars Wells Fargo took out of the black community, and look how much money they're still making right now. They're still in business. You don't see tons of outrage online. You don't see black YouTube channels making 5 videos a week, funding their whole YouTube channel off of talking about Wells Fargo. You don't see that. And I just find that really utterly fascinating, because I guarantee you that if Wells Fargo is run by a black man, that black man and that black man's face would be public enemy number one. They'd be talking about him all day. That bank would not exist. It would be dead. And so that's one thing I want to bring to your attention. The other thing I want to bring to your attention is that when you're talking about the existence of and I call these people the Negro naysayers. The Negro naysayers, they're kind of like economic clowns, angry clowns. They sort of show up in whenever you find a solution to a problem, they find a bigger problem, or they find a problem with your solution, but they ain't got no solution. They'll find a problem with your business, but they ain't got no business. They'll get mad because you're succeeding, and they ain't got no track record of success, right? So the Negro naysayer shows up. And whenever a black business comes into existence and that business is struggling and the owners are doing the best they can, undercapitalized, don't have the right enough of a customer base, trying to get something off the ground, trying to make things work, they get eaten up by the Negro naysayers. The Negro naysayers exist in a lot of our lives. Sometimes it's people in our own family, and really what they're saying to you when they give you a hard time. Think about this. These are the people that will pay money to a white business, but will expect the black business owner to give them stuff for free. Anybody know people like that? Nigga, your prices are too high. Who the hell you think you are? How you gonna charge me $3 for a hot dog? He charged $3 for a hot dog. He a scammer. That nigga a scammer, right? But will quietly pay the white man whatever price he asked for. Either they'll pay him or they won't, or they'll just walk away from the business. They won't spend their life trying to destroy a white-owned business the way they might spend their life trying to destroy a black-owned business. This is why 86% of black businesses fail, because you don't give them room to grow. You don't give them room to make mistakes. You immediately go from 0 to 60. And I personally encourage you to reconsider that. I wrote a book. Just speaking of the Negro naysayers, I wrote a book years ago called and maybe it's jealousy, maybe it's unhappiness, insecurity, or whatever, or like misery loves company. But I wrote a book years ago called "What If George Bush Were a Black Man?" And in this book, in 2004 was when I wrote it, when I was on the faculty of Syracuse University. In this book, I talked about how one of the reasons so many black men end up in prison is because black men don't have the same margin of error as white men. Now, if you simply say, black men wouldn't go to prison if they were perfect, you can say that. You can say if you never make a mistake, you probably won't go to jail. If you never break the law, then you'll probably not get in trouble. That's fine. But what happens if you slip up? What happens if you do make a mistake? And the thing about our country is that the black man is not given the same room to make mistakes as a white man. Give me a yes if you understand what I'm talking about. The black man is not given that room to fail. The black man and the black woman are not given that space to learn from their mistakes. And so effectively, a lot of black men end up getting life in prison for things that white kids might do and get a slap on the wrist. They might get, they'll get another chance. The judge will say, oh, he was only 18. He made a mistake. They'll contextualize it and they'll understand. They give them grace. They give them grace. And so a lot of your black businesses die because I don't think we give them enough grace. I think that it would be appropriate. I've done this a lot of times. I've invested in tons of black businesses. I have walked away from tons of black businesses, and I support tons of black businesses. And when I don't like the way a black man does business or a black woman is doing business, I might be so pissed off. I mean, believe me, I have loaned money. Some of these influencers that out here talking crazy, I've loaned them money when they couldn't pay their bills, and I could talk all day and say, that Negro didn't pay me back. I loaned her money in 2016. She ain't even paid me back. I could do all of that, but I don't. And the reason I don't is because I got bigger fish to fry. Those are not my number one enemies. Sorry, that's my phone. Those are not those are not the people that I'm supposed to be fighting against, And so I might say something to you in private, but this idea that somehow I have to spend my life making you my mortal enemy, that's a mental illness. That's a real mental illness. And so I just wanted to make this point to you guys. I get it. I know that this business thing is new for our community. But I want you to kind of point out that when you see these Negro naysayers, when you see these clowns, when you see these angry clowns showing up and basically saying, who that Negro think he is, and look at how much money he charges, and his business ain't make no money, and he's a scammer or whatever. I want you to challenge them. I want you to say, okay, well, what have you built that's actually creating jobs for anybody other than yourself? What is it that is leading you to be afraid of dealing with white people as harshly as you deal with other black people? What is it that you've done in your life other than begging for donations on a YouTube channel? What if somebody spent their life trying to destroy you the way you're seeking to destroy other people? What if somebody did a full background check on you to see if you've ever made any mistakes? What would they find if they looked into your life? And I think that and the thing is, you can't get these people to stop. You can't make them stop doing what they're doing. I'm just speaking to the people that are aware of the issue, those who understand. It's almost like dating. I could have a bad relationship with a black woman, and if I was a damaged person, I could spend my whole life, I could build a whole YouTube channel doing nothing but talking about how terrible black women are. Think about this. You could really do that. I've seen people do this. You could build a whole YouTube channel and make hundreds of thousands of dollars by sitting on that channel, just just finding videos of black women acting crazy, twerking in public, doing stupid stuff, and literally say, see, this is what these women do. This is how black women are, just destroying the brand of black women. I could do that. You could do that with black men. There are women that do that they have whole channels. All they do is they spend all their time talking about how terrible black men are. And it sounds very convincing because all they'll do is they'll find evidence of black men doing terrible things. Or I could simply say, if I date a black woman who isn't appropriate, I can say, you know what? I don't deal with women like that. And that's it. That's all I got to say about that. But I am going to find me a black woman that I can love because I believe in black love. So I think that with the same thing should be true with business. We should say, you know what? This type of business, I'm not messing with that no more. But you know what? I'm going to leave that to other to other people to deal with, or whatever, the authorities or whatever it is I think that they did wrong. And I'm gonna go find some black businesses that I can fall in love with, some black people I can support. I'm gonna spend less time talking about what I hate than I spend talking about what I love. And I would just definitely say, at the end of the day, guys, I mean, I hope there's somebody out there that gets it. This Negro naysayer mindset, that black people can't do nothing. Who that Negro think he is? I'm mad because he's making more money than me. That stuff is that's not going to help you grow. So if you want to grow, I encourage you to have a growth mindset. A growth mindset tends to come with an abundance mindset that says, I don't have to get jealous because you're making more money than me. We can both be successful together. We can both work together. You are better off being my friend than you are being my enemy. I wish you well because I wish myself well, and I wish all of us well. And then if I do decide I want to go pick a fight with somebody, I'm gonna pick a fight with somebody who's outside of the space that I live. I'm not gonna crap where I eat. I'm not gonna go poop on my front porch, because when I destroy a black business owner, what I'm doing is I'm creating toxic distrust in the black community. So the Negro naysayers, these toxic clowns, that's what they become. Some of them are FBI agents. I'm convinced of it, CIA agents. I really believe that. They're literally taking advantage of black trauma to just basically find anything that anybody that's getting money that isn't going to them, they want to destroy them so they can then turn around and say, well, use that money and donate to my cash app. Use that money, put it in my cash app, put it in my GoFundMe, or go come support my business because you can trust me, but you can't trust the rest of them niggers. That's nonsense, man. I think that's very toxic behavior. And I think that's a big reason why black businesses don't grow, because you don't have any trust. Nobody knows who to trust because everybody's attacking each other. So anyway, that's all I got to say, guys. I'm about to get out of here. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm in a public place. I normally don't pull out my microphone. I'm literally surrounded by about 40 people that are probably looking at me weird because I'm talking to my screen, but I don't care. I don't care what people think. Earlier today, I did a picture, and somebody they saw some white people in the background. They said, I bet those white people look like they don't want you there. They look like they don't want you to integrate that pool. And I said, man, I do not care what white people think. I ain't scared of racist white people. I ain't scared of stupid black people. All that matters is what you think about yourself. And that also is a self-esteem issue. That's a mental health issue. I think that you got to understand that when you spend all your time worried about what white people think about you, that pretty much makes you a white supremacist. When you're thinking that much about what they think, because what you're saying is that their opinion is very important. That if I tell you that you're great, you're not going to listen to that because I'm black. But if they tell you that you're not great, then that's going to really affect you. That's going to really hurt your feelings. And I just think, generally speaking, you got to learn how to look to yourself and look to the people that love you. You look for validation in places that are safe. Don't look for validation from your enemy. Don't look for validation from your oppressor. You don't look for validation from people who have no benefit, who get no benefit from by seeing you successful. Look for validation from the people you love. If you do that, then you won't care what people think. You'll keep on hustling. You keep on moving. So everybody out here who's got a business, who's got a dream, who's got a goal, who's investing, who's trying to get money, trying to succeed, trying to start a family, trying to do all these things, I want to encourage you. And the number one thing I want to tell you right now today is I don't want you listening to what other people think, because your culture is a losing culture anyway. So sitting around worrying about what white folks think is not good, because you're integrating into a burning house. And then listening to what most black people think ain't gonna work, because the black culture, the black community has become a burning house. So I want to build a stronger house. I want to build a space where all of us are educated, all of us are successful, all of us understand economics, all of us are loving each other, all of us are building, all of us are growing, all of us are developing in an appropriate way. If we, and I think that that's possible, but it's going to take a lot of focus. So anyway, that's my 2 cents, guys. I'm about to roll out. My website is boycewatkins.com. If you want to get a copy of my book, it's called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. We just put it out, and it's an Amazon bestseller. Also, we have a new movie coming out. We're building a black-owned movie industry. We have a new movie coming out called B1 the Movie. It's directed by Rick Mathis. It's going to be released on Marcus Garvey's birthday in Atlanta at the new Black Wall Street. That's where we're doing the red carpet. It stars all kinds of awesome people: Riza Islam, Queen Afua, Dr. Claude Anderson, Vicky Dillard, Nuri Muhammad, D1, Speech from Arrested Development, all these amazing people in your community who are putting you first. So if you'd like to learn more about the film, just visit b1themovie.com. That URL's on the screen. And also, if you want to join me for Stock Market Tuesdays on my Instagram, you can go to Dr. Boyce Finance. And also, this podcast is on Spotify. So let's stay connected on multiple platforms. Make sure you hit the notification bell because the channels get shadow banned, and I don't know how to get around that other than to tell you to hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I go live. And my Instagram is Dr. Boyce Finance. That's what we're going to do, Stock Market Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, where you can ask me questions. All right, guys, have a good day. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Peace.